Hi, my name is Megan Mason, and this is my case study for AEP 959. Going over the case study, this study was about Kim, who's an assistant principal at Triscuit Middle School. She has been there for 5 years, and she's very tech savvy. And a little bit about the middle school was the school has about 650 students, 80 staff and teachers, and the demographics of the students is 80% African American, 17% white, and 3% other. One of the biggest things they're seeing is the lack of parent involvement. So going into the depth of this, the challenge she is finding is that they're not serving the students to the best of their abilities. She wants to look at the curriculum and make it more tech savvy because the traditional paper to pencil is not working because due to data she has found from the testing is saying that students don't comprehend short answers and usually just give up and skip over them. So she wants to figure out how can we implement this in a better way using technology and helping the students learn more. This is where she wants to find and develop a good system to help all students and adults be successful. Going over her idea, she doesn't break any legal or ethical issues. There are no laws that are broken. There's no breach of contracts. No actions are being taken that were discriminatory to anyone in any way. So Kim is an assistant principal of Triscuit Middle School, wants to make a change towards her school having technology-rich curriculum and teaching in order to address the areas of concerns she has found through the school's data collection. What are some missing facts? So what we do know is that Kim is the principal and her teacher/staff, most of them are majority Caucasian versus her students are the majority is African American. We know that the parents are involved and that there are stakeholders in the community. However, we don't know what are they doing? What are the partnerships going on within the school? The place is the middle school, and there are 650 students, 80 staff. 65% of the students receive free and reduced lunch. Excuse me. And 25% of the parents attend parent-teacher conferences and open houses. What we don't know is what are the elementary and the high school data looking like? Are they similar? Are they different? Are they being more successful or not? The program, we know that they're using the Holt McDonald textbook, that they don't have any authentic assessments, and that they do have state achievement tests. But we don't really know much more other than that for what other data are they using to see that they need help with the curriculum. Reviewing the information, we know that the scores are low and the short answers and essay questions were where students struggled the most. Kim moves to a 7-period day to a 4-day period so she could try to help enrich the technology into the curriculum. Now she has to figure out the next step to that is she go directive control, directive informational, collaborative, or non-directive. So option 1, she could just do nothing, hope it all corrects itself. Some pros and cons to that. The pro, it's easy. You just let it slide by and you place it into the teacher's hands. It's your problem, your kids' results, fix it. Some cons are the students' needs aren't being met then. The parent involvement still remains really bad, and then you may see no improvement of the expectations. So option 2 would be a directive control. And that would be to find out what other districts have done. Tell the teachers this is the direction of the school and this is our improvement plan, and we're gonna do this how I'm saying to do it. Some pros, it could be quick and easy and clear for the administrative, and then everyone has all the same expectations. However, teachers' voices aren't heard. You most likely will get pushed back, and then not considering all the other possibilities that could be out there. Option 3, a directive informational route. You could collaborate with the districts and then collaborate with other professionals and find maybe the top 3 routes to take, and then share the data information to with the teachers, and then have them individually take a survey to decide which one they would prefer to do, and then go with the majority vote. The pros to this option is still the administrators are leading, but they also are giving teachers a choice, and then giving the teachers some sense of control, because we don't want to take away their voice, because it is their classroom, it is their students. Some cons are that you may not get a majority vote, and then the people that didn't like that vote are going to probably gripe about it and then have still pushed back. Option 4 is a non-directive. Once again, going through all the data, collecting, and then handing it back out and leaving it in the teacher's hands. Be like, here's the problem, here's what the data says, what should we do? And letting them problem solve and take initiative on it. And some pros on that is it's out of your hands. You're saying it's your job as teachers to figure out what we're going to do, and it makes them responsible, and they can get their perceptions on things instead of, well, the administration's not in my classroom, so how would they know, slogan that we usually hear. But the cons are you could lose communication in between the teachers. They might completely leave you out of the loop, and as administrators, we want to be hands-on also. And then not the whole building putting an effort. They might just say, well, you have those group of teachers that don't want to do the extra work, so they're going to just kind of just slide on in with what everybody else is doing. Option 5 would be a collaborative option. Again, gathering all the data, going through the data, and deciphering it on what have we tried, what haven't we tried, what have other people tried, and then maybe forming a lead team to figure out how we can work on making improvements for our students. Option 5's pros are you're getting a team build, you're getting some ownership put into place, you're having the communication, you're getting some buy-in. Con is it takes a lot of time because you got those broken up spots. Maybe not all the voices are heard because, again, you're forming a lead team versus the whole cohort. And then maybe not all the teachers that want to be involved are involved. I think personally the best option would be option 5, the collaborative route, because I think it considers the well-being of all students and teachers, because you're trying to get all that information that Kim doesn't have right now. She doesn't have the student input. She doesn't have all the teachers' input. You're forming a team building because you're forming like a smaller group of teachers, because they have 80. Let's get a smaller group so that all 80 voices are being talking at the same time, but you have someone that can represent like a department or a level. And then you're considering all different types of curriculum out there and going through all the speech. What we also need to do with where Kim left off is making sure that there are more than just one assessment that is being utilized. Is there a district? Is there state? Is there also teacher assessments that we can look at? So choosing my path, I would first gather the data. So like I said, looking at all those assessments, and then getting all the information from parents, get all the information from students and from teachers. And this could be done through a survey, like where do you struggle? Where do you see your students struggle? And then going from that data and the assessments, collaboratively putting those together and deciphering it and presenting it to the staff. After I talk to the staff, I would say, hey, here's our issue. This is what needs to be improved, and we need to work towards this, and I want to use technology to do so. So next step was, I know there's 80 of you and there's one of me. We have all these students. We need to figure out how to narrow this down. First, I want us to work as a group and figure out a lead team. So I want you to have a representative represent your department. And after I create that, then we want to create a rubric that goes with the curriculum that we want to use. Make sure we have our what is okay in our curriculum, what do we want from the curriculum, what are non-negotiables in the curriculum, and then I want to have them divide and conquer. What do we want for your curriculum, and bring to the table what you find, maybe at least the top 3 that you find. And then what we would regroup with these sources, I would give them a timeline, and we would discuss what is the positives and negatives of each resource that they found, and then can we narrow it down to this is the one we want to use. And then we would network with other districts that have those curriculums and see how they are doing with those curriculums. And maybe we look at how they're using it and we don't like it, then we go back to the drawing board and try another one. If once we finally find the one that we would like, I would want to get a professional to come in to train us how to use those curriculums correctly. Thinking about what might happen, I might also get those pushbacks still. That's more work teachers don't want to do. Who needs to be involved? All the teachers, all the parents, all the kids. Like I said, I want to get that input. And that's kind of how I kind of went over how to facilitate with people involved. How would I address the pushback? I would say, what are we here for? We're here for the students. Our students are not succeeding right now. And if we want to be successful teachers, we need to start looking at what is going on and addressing those needs. My plan B would be working with more of a authoritative route where I gave them the opportunity to be a voice, but then if it's not going to work out, like I get too much pushback, then I will enforce what we're going to do. Now, if that wasn't the case where we just can't find a curriculum that we all like or think it's great, then I would draw in more of a trial run, like, okay, this year we're going to try this, we'll see how it goes. And then if we need to regroup, we can regroup after a year. So here's my correlation. This assessment correlates with the PLO standard for learning and my relevancy to the assignment for my current learning, and then my reflection of the assignment and how it will help me as a future building principal. Thank you for your time.